We're going to do a shop and showroom update. We're going to talk about just a bunch of stuff that we're doing here, what it's kind of like having a car dealership. So we're here with the 1958 Chrysler 300D. You saw this in an earlier video. We've actually driven this car almost 860 miles. I would tell you that they were carefree miles, but my girlfriend and I had the belt fly off and then had to limp it, I don't know, what, 6 miles home probably. It did technically make it back, so I wouldn't say it was a complete disaster. So we put a new belt on it. It charges, the water pump functions, the fan's pumping again. So everything's like that, but it's going to go start getting polished. And then eventually in the next coming months, we're going to pull the motor, repaint it, put it back in the car, and it will be ready for its owner. Don't you love it? God, I love it. So there was a beautiful 71 Jaguar. That car went away for service today. That car was also in the shop update. Got new carburetors rebuilt. Got the intake redone. It got walnut blasted in its valve area for that. Oh, and there was an SLS that we sold. We'll slap that photo up here. And a beautiful 2017 Bentley that also left. The next awesome car, which we saw from the Lake Mirror video, if you didn't see that, definitely go back and watch that. This is the 36 Bentley. We actually just made a deal on this car. This is a really cool car. It actually took a little bit longer than I thought to sell, but fabulous piece. Going up to one of the Carolinas. I'm not sure. It was not my deal, but going to a proud new owner, and that's always great to see. We have a guest, Jane. This is still for sale. 2005 911 Turbo. We just sold the awesome 1967 Eldorado gray with a red leather interior. Actually the second time we've sold this car, but sold it to a great regular customer of ours, staying local. Really like this car a lot. It drives really great. You can pretty much drive it down the interstate at like 80 miles an hour. Not many classic cars you could do that with. This is a big deal to me that you can actually use these cars the way that they're intended. This has disc brakes, and some of you will notice that it is fail wheel drive. Front wheel drive for you don't understand what fail wheel drive means. Show this beautiful interior. I love this car. The design. Look at that. I mean, this comes all the way up and boom, right here in the quarter. It's the little things. 61 Imperial, honorable mention here. Hopefully we have a deal working on this. I had a gentleman come and look at it earlier this week. Another mention is we took a bunch of signs down. I got a bunch of clips. So our signs are going to Richmond Auction Company. They will be selling in February. I don't have the date, but it is in February. I'll reconfirm later on. So unfortunately, we had to pull off a bunch of our signs. I think we're selling about 20 of our personal collection, neons, porcelain signs, a lot of them car related and aviation. That is going a part of the museum collection because we have to move here. So we have to move. That's why we're selling a bunch of our stuff, which isn't fun, but it's great to see they're going to go on to new, wonderful homes. We get people in here, so we're going to slide on over. Maybe. Not there. Right here. So we pulled down a sign here, all the signs on the wall there. The absolutely incredible 1958 Fossil Vega. I love this car. It's going back to its owner this week too. After service, the 1960 Chrysler 300F convertible. This is the only one ever made in blue in convertible form. It has a blue interior as well, white top. This car is getting new door panels put in. We drove it quite a bit last week as well, and unfortunately the generator failed on it as I was at a meeting. So that car had to be brought back here. It ate another battery, so now we're getting the generator fixed and all of the new door panels put in. Let's just show like a couple cool things. Nerdy Blake stuff. So if you come here, you can see the globe. I think we actually have a nice clip of the globe lit up at nighttime. But that's the globe there. It has the tack down here on the center console. And this is a factory radio delete car. So for this being such a rare color, this car has pretty much, actually it has no options. It has no options. This man was very broke, but he really knew what he wanted. We have this 37 Ford Hot Rod. This is finally done. We did an absolute ton of work on this car. We're going to deliver this to its owner this week as well. This car has new wiring harness, new brakes, new coil suspension up here. We did a bunch of stuff in the interior. We ripped out the terrible, awful, very early 2000s air suspension in the front. Had this terrible tank in it. It has real air conditioning that functions very well. The radio now functions. It has cameras on the side that show you where you're going right and left like mirrors would. This is going back to its owner. This was just in for storage, just a first edition SL550. The awesome 1967 Jaguar is sold, going to its new owner this week as well. Series 1 car, we did a bunch of small stuff to this. And then we have the Saab that is live on BringATrailer right now. That car is no reserve and it's selling to the highest bidder no matter what it goes for. Really love that car. This is another car we're working on, 56 Lincoln. We're jumping around a lot here, but there's a lot of cars and there's a lot of stuff that goes on when you have a car business, especially the classic car business, because there's always something going, coming in, breaking, needing to be cleaned, being worked on. Doesn't matter what it is. There's always something going on. This is not a dull business. Very happy to have sold this car to a great customer of ours. I did leave these awesome headlights on the Chrysler 300F, so let's not kill the battery, although it is on the tender here. What is next? We do have a few cars coming and going that are going to come in for service. We have a Series 2 E-Type coming in for service after one just left, and David going to go work on the TR6. Gee. Now we're over here in the museum. Gonna walk back to the shop. Robert was messing with the Delahaye, the freaking awesome Goujon Streamliner. I cannot tell you how cool this looks. I know it looks a little funky, but we like funky. Do you see Robert? Look at this man, the bearded wonder over here. We do wonder what he's doing often. What are you doing?
I was trying to see if it turns over, but it's either the switch is bad or the start is bad.
So you don't think it's locked up though?
I don't know.
Okay. Something is broken. Shocking. Robert also got our very cool Volkswagen Beetle convertible running again. Does need brakes. The tires are awful. I don't think I've ever seen this car actually drive on the road in my entire life. My dad's owned this car for 25 years. This was my father's actual, not his particular first car, but this was the first car that he ever bought. One just like this, except for it was a coupe, but it was mint green on this color interior. Just like a family thing that we liked. Delahaye runs. The awesome Citroen back there runs. Robert, can you get that Citroen to start? Let's go start this thing. I want to see it. Let's see it. So this is a 59 Citroen 2CV. 2CV, which I believe means dueling horses. So we're going to take off this mic so you can hear it a little bit better here. It's going to start. RIP headphone users. But it runs. This is exciting. Look at that. It's a good car. Runs again. Do we dare try to drive it on the road? Probably at some point. Let's move on back to the shop. I had to redo this take twice. We are now back in the shop. I'm getting eye rolled here. The R8 is back from being used. This is my beater, my favorite, my W140 Coupe. You never see these. 1997. I absolutely love this car. That is going to auction, the Ford pickup truck. This is a car that we're restoring, the 280 SL factory 4-speed car, first year SL68. This is a car that we're in for service, getting its carbs rebuilt and whatever else David decides to find here. But this car has 15,800 original miles on it. Show this massive motor here. Look at this massive motor. Look at that. Huge speed. This is actually a really great car. We used the paint meter on it. The paint meter did show that it had anywhere from 2 to 6 mils of paint. I would say that is original paint. There are no paint lines, no overspray, no nothing. This is just a really cool original piece. The top is really nice. The interior is really cool. This 1960 Edsel convertible just sold as we're doing this video right now. Just sold to a new customer of ours. What did we do to this car? Power steering. We're going to clean up the wheels. Let's go take a peek over here. So yeah, I like this color, kind of an aqua color. Maybe you can see some of this. David's bringing the light over here. Maybe. Yeah, a little gross, a little grimy. It's not a perfect example, but it's a very good car that runs and drives and you can actually use it if you want. We did sway bar end links, oil change, everything just to be ready for the new owner. So that's sold. That's going to, I believe, Maine. I think that's where he's from. So it's going to be shipped up to Maine. Yep, a rusty state. But this was not a rusty car. This car originally came from California. That was a mention there. The Bel Air is running and driving now. We did new engine, transmission in that. The car was been here too long, but black, red interior. We're going to clean it up, put the side skirts on, put new lenses on it, and move it on to the new owner. Or I should say, current owner. The 65 Lancia Flaminia convertible. This is a very cool car. We did the whole engine out on it. Maybe we'll include some photos in here if my girlfriend wants to do that. If not, she won't do it. So this car we sold going to the Tucson Auto Museum in Arizona to our good friend Wayne. We bought the car. We took a bunch of cars on trade for it. So he bought it. He's going to use it in the museum and maybe drive it from time to time, I hope. We did an absolute ton of work on this car to make it ready for him. This, my personal car, 88 BMW 6 Series. It basically has a straight pipe and it's loud as all hell. The 65 Rolls is in here for David to touch next. So hopefully he can make magic happen.
Touch and make magic happen?
Diddle.
No, he might diddle it a little bit, but that's okay. So we'll do that. The Austin Healey. We're going to talk about this car. Everybody's going to laugh. This car, you fix one thing, another thing keeps breaking. 64 Austin Healey. We've done a ton of work to this car. It keeps breaking every time you fix one thing. It keeps domino affecting into problems. So David replaced the choke cable mechanism here. The entire thing, front to back, right? And what happened after you did that? The choke broke.
Yeah.
Do you know why that is? Because Mom sells terrible parts. I don't like
That company name, just in case.
No, I don't want to.
Just in case.
So we're on this side of the museum finally. Robert has done an extremely good job of getting a bunch of the cars running. I think we have, I don't know, at this point, 70% of the cars running for our move. It's going to be a gigantic endeavor to figure that out. But we have the Jewett functioning. The Maxwell kind of functions. I wouldn't say it's perfect. The Triumph functions here. The boat is just going to go on its trailer. Oh, the Porsche is leaving. It's going back to its owner. So that Porsche is going to its owner. This is the same owner. It's going to go to that. This one is running the 65 Austin Healey. Some people are going to notice these little marker lights here. This car says it's yeared 65, so I don't know why they did that, but it says year 65. There are two Austins that are running and driving now, finally. That Austin right here was actually in the museum when it opened in 1953. Jane, what you doing? So, 1930 American Austin. There was another one. That's actually a really beautiful one. This was the car that was in the museum when it opened in 1953. This is really cool to us, and it is in Packers colors, if you like that sort of thing. Mazda Auto Transport just showed up to take our wonderful 1965 Mustang, which is going to a new owner outside of Atlanta. I sold this car on BringATrailer. Unfortunately, BringATrailer doesn't qualify their bidders, so we had to go with the underbidder, thankfully. He came through, really great guy. 65 Mustang. We did about $7,000 worth of work on this car during our ownership to prepare it for said new owner. 4-wheel disc brakes, new hoses, new rear end, countless engine bay parts, powered by a 302 V8 factory power top option, which I think is nice. It is a variation of Poppy Red. I wouldn't say that is factory Poppy Red. It does have upgraded headlights. It has the modern American torque thrust wheels. Black interior, obviously bucket seats, no center console though. And it does have a 4-speed with an overdrive transmission in it. This is off to Georgia she goes.